So good morning students. We are starting with our today's topic, that is objectives of communication. Sorry, this is your first, we have already finished with the first topic, that is concept of communication. Now we are starting with the second topic, that is objectives of communication. When you are filling your attendance form, in the topic, all of you are going to write objectives of communication. It is given on the first slide. See over here, objectives of communication. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
I don't want any other answer over there. On the first slide, your topic is given on the first slide. It is objectives of communication. If you are not sure, please note it down so that when you are filling your attendance form, there will be no confusion. This is your topic number 2, objectives of communication. So, what we are going to do in this particular unit? First, we will define objectives of communication. Then, we will enumerate various objectives of communication. Enumerate, list down. Then, to elaborate various objectives with suitable examples. Then, to understand advantages and disadvantages of various objectives of communication. Next, to compare and contrast various objectives of communication. Then, to explore the effective techniques of achieving the objectives of communication. So these are the things that we are going to do in your unit number 2, that is objectives of communication. So, first question, what is objectives of communication? A goal is a broad desired result one wants to achieve in long term. An objective, on the other hand, refers to the specific measurable actions one must take to achieve the overall goal. This is the difference between goal and objective. Now, in your case, what is your goal? That is to become graduate. Now, your graduation program, Bachelor of Arts, is of 3 years. In these 3 years, you are going to learn various subjects. In those various subjects, you are going to study various units. And that in any particular unit, you are going to learn many concepts. So, when you want to become a graduate, that is your goal. And when, for example, you are studying mass communication, and in that mass communication paper, you are studying unit number 2, objectives of communication. So that is, studying this particular unit is your objective. So your goal is to become graduate, but right now your objective is to learn unit number 2 of mass communication. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, teacher.
So this is the difference between goal and objective. Goal is overall, long term. Objective is short term and specific. Goal is general, objective is specific. Goal is long term, objective is short term. Now, When we talk about objectives, we have to keep in mind one particular word, that is SMART. S stands for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for realistic, and T for time bound. So now our objective is to learn unit number 2. In the first slide, learning objectives, I listed what we are going to do. So it is very specific what we are going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have listed what we are going to do. It is very specific. It is measurable. You can measure one by one whether you have understood or not, whether you have achieved your objective or not. Then the third one is achievable. Can you actually do it or you cannot do it? That is achievable. Then realistic. Is it real or is it virtual or is it just your what you can say imagination? And the last one is time bound. How much time you are going to take to achieve those objectives? So when you are framing your objectives, you have to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. In short, SMART objectives. So when we talk about objectives of communication, there are two types, primary and secondary. Under primary objectives, you have information, advice, order and instruction, education, and warning. Under secondary objectives, you have persuasion, motivation, and raising the morale. Primary, it means first. Secondary, it means second. You know it very well. Primary education, secondary education, you know that. So, primary means it comes first. Secondary means it comes later. Please note down these primary objectives and secondary objectives. I repeat, primary objectives, information, advice, order and instruction, education, and warning. Secondary objectives, persuasion, motivation, and the last one, raising the morale. Please pay attention to the spellings. When it is M-O-R-A-L, it is moral. When you add an E at the end, M-O-R-A-L-E, it is morale. Moral and morale. These two are different words. They are not same. Should I change the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So now we will see each objective one by one. So the first one is information. The word information comes from the Latin word informare, which is a verb. It means to give form to the mind, to discipline, to instruct, to teach. There are 6 types of information. In the first column, you will see information type, and in the second column, you will find what exactly it means. So, number 1, you have procedure. Procedure is a set of steps an individual performs to complete a single task. Its example is recipe book. Suppose you have to make any particular recipe, what you should do. Step 1, step 2, step 3, it is given in detail. First, you will take the ingredients, its exact measurement and proportion. Then the procedure. What you will do first, what you will do second, what you will do third, what you will do fourth. So it is a type of information. It is called procedure. Then the second type of information is process. A series of events, stages or phases that occurs over time and has a specific outcome. Please note down all the points. Process, a series of events, stages or phases that occurs over time and has a specific outcome. Its best example that we have seen is process of communication in your unit number 1. First, there is sender, then there is idea that comes to his or her mind, then it is encoded and converted into a message, then it is sent to the receiver through medium and channel. The receiver receives the message and decodes it, and in turn sends back feedback to medium and channel. I hope all of you still remember the process of communication. Then, next one is principle. It is a statement designed to dictate, guide, or require behavior. I repeat, a statement designed to dictate, guide, or require behavior. In other words, do's and don'ts. Next, concept. A class or group of things that share a critical set of attributes. Again, go back to your unit number 1. It was concept of communication. So what exactly we mean by communication? Next, we have structure. A description or depiction of anything that has parts and boundaries. When we talk about a building, it is a structure. So if you have to describe that particular building, how you are going to describe it? The last one, fact, a statement that is assumed to be true. For example, Earth revolves around the sun. It is a fact. So, when we talk about information, there are 6 types: procedure, process, principle, concept, structure, and fact. Am I clear enough?
Yes, ma'am.
Should I change the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
You have noted down the 6 points?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, very good. Next, we have advice. Now, information plus opinion means advice. So, you do have information with you, and then you have your own opinion about that particular information. That leads to advice. Now, you must have come across various words: order, counseling, advice, suggestion. Now, what is the difference among these words? First, we have the word order. It is formal, it is obligatory. Obligatory means compulsory. It is given by the authority, and it is objective and impersonal. For example, when I am telling you to join Google Classroom, frankly speaking, it is an order. It is formal, it is obligatory. All of you must join Google Classroom. It is given by the authority. I am your teacher and I am telling you, the students, so you have to do it, or rather you must do it. And it is objective and impersonal. It is for all. This particular instruction is not given to any particular student. It is given to all the students. So it is objective and impersonal. So when I'm telling you to do something, it can be order, counseling, advice, suggestion. In case of order, you must do it because it is formal, it is obligatory. Obligatory means compulsory. It is given by the authority, and it is objective and impersonal. Please note down all these points in your notebook. Second one is counseling. Now, counseling is again formal, but it is voluntary. It is not compulsory. You can decide for yourself whether you want to do it or you don't want to do it. Counseling is given by the professional and expert. It is again objective and impersonal. It is given to all. For example, you are not feeling well and you go to the doctor. Now, doctor is a professional and an expert. He gives you a prescription of medicines. Now, you have to take those medicines, but if you don't want, you will not take it. It depends on you. 99% of the times, people follow the prescription of the doctor, but you can always take the second opinion. Again, the medicines given for one particular disease will be same if you go to different doctors. So it is objective and impersonal. It is given by the professional and expert. It is formal, but it is not compulsory. That is the difference between order and counseling. Order is compulsory. Counseling is not compulsory. Then we come to the third one, that is advice. Now, if you see counseling and advice, both are formal, both are voluntary, it is not compulsory. Advice is given by expert and experienced person. It is not necessary that person is a professional, but the person is expert and experienced, and it has personal touch. That is the main difference between counseling and advice. When a doctor cares or a nurse cares for you, and when your mother cares for you, the difference is personal touch. If you are not well, the doctor has given you the medicines, and a nurse comes and gives you the medicine, and mother comes and gives you the medicine. Nurse and mother both are giving the same medicine. It is not different, but the mother has personal touch. That's the difference between counseling and advice. Now we come to the last one, that is suggestion. It is informal, it is voluntary, it is given by layperson, and it has personal touch. So, for example, during the present corona crisis, everybody suggests that to improve your immunity, you should take some home medicine. People tell each other, do this, do that. Now, it is not told by the experts, it is not obligatory, and it is informal. So, that is the difference between suggestion and advice. Advice is given by expert and experienced person, but suggestion is given by any lay person. Anybody can give the suggestion, but not everybody can give advice. Okay, so is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, should I change the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You have noted down all the points?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now, next we come to order and instruction. Guidelines from superiors to subordinates. We have already seen the first slide where an order is compulsory. It is not voluntary. And what is there in order? Do's and don'ts, guidelines. What should be done and what should not be done. Now, order should be complete. It means it should cover everything. Task, that is what to do. Purpose, why to do. Time, when to do. Location, where to do. Agent, who should do. And manner, how should do. So now I will give you the same example. All of you have to join Google Classroom. So when I say please join Google Classroom, it is the task. What should be done? Why? Because I'm going to post all the information on Google Classroom. So that is the purpose. When you have to join? Today itself. Location. Now, in this particular case, location is virtual location. It is not the actual location. It is the virtual location. But we, uh, if it is not an online class, it is our regular class, then room number 401 or room number 501. So that will be location. Right now, our location is virtual. Agent, who should do this? Students. So you are the agent. And how you will join the Google Classroom? Either through your email or by typing the code. So there are two methods. That is how. So when an order and an instruction is given, it should cover 6 points. Task, purpose, time, location, agent, and manner. It has to be concise, precise, and to the point. Clear means easy to understand. Coherent, that is logical flow. Correct, no abstract words leading to confusion. When I'm telling you to join Google Classroom, I don't think that there is any confusion. Correct, factually and grammatically correct. If you type the wrong code, you will not be able to join. So you have to be correct. And the last one, courteous. It means being polite. There should be consideration for feelings and viewpoints of the receiver. So when I'm telling you to join Google Classroom, what do I say? Please join Google Classroom. Now the word please over here makes it polite. It is an order. Mind you, it is an order. It is compulsory. But I'm using the word please because it makes the order polite. Please note down all the points. Here we come to 7 words which start with C. Complete, concise, clear, coherent, concrete, correct, and courteous. These 7 words are known as 7 C's of communication. And we are going to come across these words again and again. These 7 C's you have to learn by heart. Complete, concise, clear, coherent, concrete, correct, and courteous. Am I clear enough?
Yes, ma'am.
Should I change the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next, we come to education. Now, what we mean by education? Imparting knowledge and instructions, enriching mental faculties, improving skills, and building character through training. This is the definition of education. Now look at each word, um, what can I say, carefully. First one, imparting knowledge. We have already seen information, and now we are coming to the word knowledge. Now, mind you, information and knowledge are not same. What is the difference between information and knowledge? It is only when you understand the information, it becomes knowledge. If you don't understand the information, it is not knowledge. Then, next we come to instructions. We have already seen the instructions in the last slide. Order and instructions.
Yes, ma'am.
So now, what next we are doing is enriching mental faculties. Mental faculties, thinking. Then, improving skills. Skills means where you use, where you create something, where you use your hands, heart, and head together. You are creating something. There you require the skill. You will get the information of how to make, for example, biryani online. Step by step, all the information is given over there. What are the ingredients you require to make biryani? Then how you are supposed to make the biryani? Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4, step number 5. But when you are making a particular recipe for the first time, it is not necessary that you will be 100% successful. Why? Because you lack the required skill. Information is same for everybody, but you require to improve your skills, and it comes over a period of time with practice. It is not that you read a recipe from a book and immediately you are able to make the perfect dish. It requires time and practice. Next, we come to building character. Now, when we talk about character, it is your overall personality. And how we do it? Through training. Again, I repeat, education is not just information. It comprises of knowledge, improving skills, and building character. And for that, you require training. Training, you practice something, but there is somebody who is also guiding you. So then it becomes training. So for training, what we use: classroom teaching, lectures, seminars, short courses, conferences, educational tours, film shows, etc. Now, when we talk about education, there is one very important term that is known as Bloom's taxonomy. Now we'll see what it is. First, you have the stage of remembering, the smallest circle, remembering. Next, understanding. For example, I have told you 7 C's of communication. Which are those? First step, you have to remember: clear, concise, courteous. I remember only 3. I have forgotten the rest 4. So first what I have to do, I have to remember all the 7 C's of communication. So that is the first circle, the smallest circle, remembering. Then second circle, that is understanding. I have to understand the meaning of each one. What do I mean by clear or concise or courteous? Then I have to apply it. I have to use it. Then I have to analyze it. If it is not clear, what will happen? If it is not courteous, then what will happen? After analyzing, evaluating. Evaluation is like examination. And the last one, creating. Using all the 7 C's of communication, you will create your own form of communication. For example, writing a letter. So when you are writing a particular letter, you have to remember all the 7 C's of communication. You have to apply it, analyze your letter, whether it is good enough, it covers all the 7 C's or not. So you are judging your letter, and finally you are preparing the last draft, final draft, and you are posting that particular letter. So that is your last stage, that is creating. So when we talk about education, there are 7 steps. It is known as Bloom's taxonomy. I repeat: remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. Have you noted down the points?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So now our lecture time is over and I'm stopping over here.
Okay, ma'am.
Rest of the topics we will see in the next lecture. I hope there is no doubt.
No doubt, ma'am.
Okay. And again, I'm telling you, I'm not going to post the attendance link on the group. You have to join Google Classroom. On Google Classroom, you will find the link for today's attendance. What you are going to write? You are going to write today's date. What is today's date?
23rd July.
Yes, 23rd July. Don't write 26th June. And you have to write 2020. Don't just write 20. If you just write 20, here it is reflected as 1920. Then your timing, just write 11 a.m. Your name, roll number, and topic. Today's topic was objectives of communication. You have to just write objectives of communication. Don't write advice, don't write education, information, nothing else. All have to write objectives of communication. Okay? So here we stop. Please follow all the instructions.
Yes, ma'am.
We will meet in the next lecture. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.